Hey everyone, Brandon Ford here with Center Up TV, helping you make Jesus the center of everything. In this week's episode, we sat down with Christian worship artist Chris August, and we talked with him all about his music, his new album currently in production, how he overcame an addiction to prescription drugs, and how that healing led him to create his hit song, The Maker. But before we get to the interview, we want to let you know about our CUTV mobile app that gets you access to all of our interviews, plus access other Christ-centered content from other sources from around the web. It's fun to use, and best of all, it's free. Check out this short video and download it today.
Everyone's got their own opinions. There's nothing they don't know about. But in the end, nobody's winning, 'cause nobody's got it figured out.
One of the coolest parts is when I go out and do a show, and afterwards and someone says, you know, I was really struggling with this, and I heard this song, you know, I was listening to your record or whatever, and I heard this song, and man, it was showing me this, and we get started talking. I'm like, that's so crazy how like I can write a song at my house, you know, and you know, a year or two later, someone's telling me how that song impacted them. I'm like, that's pretty cool how God uses that, and you know, obviously, doing Christian-based music, it's like that message is just gonna get out there, and some, you know, obviously in songs, you know, I don't just like preach John 3:16 in every song, but almost all my songs are Christian, and it's like something along those lines of like what is happening in my life, or what am I thinking about, where am I striving to be. And like I have a new record that's coming out, and it's unlike any sound it's kind of my old school sound before I was doing Christian music, but yet it's probably my most Christian lyrics, the most in depth I've ever gone, you know, and very thought-provoking type of stuff.
Your love is like a mighty fire deep inside my bones. I feel like I could climb 1,000 mountains all at once, and I never have to wonder if somebody cares for me. I love the Maker, and the Maker loves me.
I had a brain injury, had a brain bleed, brain swelling thing. I was in ICU for a bit, and after that, I finally got out of the hospital and thinking, I'm in the clear. And pain pills for 4 months, body got addicted to it, couldn't stop taking it, getting sick, and horrible. Finally got over that, I'm thinking, I'm in the clear. And then get diagnosed with depression, and pills for that, and side effects and pills for that. And I'm like, I can't catch a break, you know? It's like, it was the hardest year of my life, you know? And I had just turned 30, and I'm like, man, this is horrible. And so I finally, you know, I had realized I had never asked the Lord to heal me, you know, and I was just taking all these pills, and just because that's what I was just like, that's what I'm supposed to do. And it was like, do I believe that He is who I say He is, and that He can do what I say He can do? I mean, I speak about it all the time. I mean, do I believe it? You know, I mean, why would I not at least ask? You know, the Bible says ask. You know, I don't know what the outcome's going to be. I don't know His will. You know, I don't know His ways. You know, His ways are much bigger than a small box of my common sense and logic. I can't figure Him out. I don't want to. If I could, I wouldn't worship Him. He wouldn't be as great as we say He is, but He is. And so I asked Him to heal me, and I started pursuing after Him with everything in me. I started literally reading His Word for hours every day. Like, no joke, I was on the road, and I wasn't really doing much. And so that's what I did. I just literally read the Word for hours every day. I was praying. I was in tune with the Holy Spirit, just like, that's all I did. And a month later, I go, oh my gosh, I haven't taken any pills. Like, I just stopped taking them. And, you know, about a year after that, in a moment a lot like this, with some cameras set up in my living room, someone asking me about it, I was in the living room of my house, and I remembered I stopped taking those pills. I was like, actually, I have that pill box, because I always used to talk about the big old pill box that I had. Like my grandpa used to have this thing. So I'd go to grab the pill box to show. I don't even know why I was going to show them the pill box. I'm like, who cares? I grab it, and as I grab it, it made all the sounds of all the pills, and then I literally just started like crying, because I get chills right now thinking about it, and I'll hold back the tears. But it's like, I'm like, that's the sound of healing right there. That's the sound of God is bigger than whatever you're going through, because Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday were empty, but the rest of the days weren't. The pills were still there, and I'm here, and better than I ever was. And I say that as I hold my imaginary pill box. I say that not to tell people to stop taking their medicines, like, keep taking your medicines. I'm not going to tell you to do that. I think doctors do some awesome work, and the Lord, without a doubt, uses them. But I say just to remind people to stop putting their hope in that stuff. These temporary fixes that make us feel good for a moment, that there's no healing in those things. There's healing in Christ, and He alone is our hope. And so literally when I wrote the song The Maker, I went to a friend of mine named Ed Cash, and I told him the story, and I said, I just want to say thank you. I want to write a song, because I said to him, I was like, it's crazy to me to think that the creator of it all lives inside of me, that the maker of it all cares enough to heal me, and then boom, we wrote that song. And so that one means a lot.
Giving my life to the only one who makes the moon reflect the sun. Every starry night, that was His design.
I love making music. So my motivation is I can't, even if I didn't make a living doing it, I would be doing it. I joke with people all the time, because when you're signed to a record label and there's a lot of other things involved, you have this pressure to be a certain sound and certain this, and that's why with this record I finally was like, with this new one that's coming out, I was like, I'm not gonna do it anymore. I was like, because I always joke, I'm like, look, I'd rather have a no stress job. I'll go work at Home Depot, help people out, show people where the lumber is, that sounds good to me, and in all seriousness, I'm like, there's no stress. You don't leave Home Depot going, what I'm gonna do tomorrow, I'm gonna organize that. You don't think about that, you go home and you hang out, and so for me, it's like, sometimes I think about that, like the pressures of it, but I love making music though, and so I'm finally getting back to a place I feel like I haven't been in a while, where I've always enjoyed it, but like right now I'm like in love with it again, and I've been finding a lot of really good music in the past year or so that's really inspired me and challenged me to go, okay, I didn't know this was out, and this came out, and it was like, okay, this is step up in my game, this is cool, I can actually be very musical right now. And definitely the record is, that's what I've been working on for the past couple of years. I've been writing and going, this isn't right, it's not right. And and my label would be like, this song is great, and I'm like, it's not right, it's not who I am, it's not what God, it's not the music that God put in my bones, and I was just gonna keep on pushing until I got to that, and then it was crazy, just within the last few months, it all just kind of was like a river, it was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't write it fast enough, and I produced the whole record myself. I played every instrument except for the drums and bass. I had a drummer that's been playing with me forever, and a bass player that's been playing with me forever, and I played everything else on the record and produced it all. And it is, to me, it's the most honest. It's if I could have, one thing to show people, to say, man, you got to check this out, then it would be this record. And it's only going to be 5 or 6 songs. We kept it short and sweet, because people are ADD these days. I am too. It's like, what happened? But so I just kept it nice and short and sweet, and it's like, here you go, check it out, live with it, because I'm telling you, don't just. The grooves are ridiculous on this record. It has got some grooves on it. We put some horns and stuff. It is nasty in that world. It's awesome. But don't let that lyric pass you by, because I worked on these lyrics and crafted them. I spent a ton of time, really wanting people to kind of have a little bit more insight into what God's been teaching me, and what hopefully God can kind of help them through what I wrote.
Now, to learn more about Chris, his music, and to find out about his new album, be sure to visit his website at chrisaugustmusic.com. Also, we want to give a big thank you to Bridgeway Church in Wesley Chapel, Florida, and to the Celebrate Recovery Freedom Rock 2017 event staff for allowing us to come and be a part of their event with Chris August. Now, make sure to download our new Center Up TV app, as well as follow us on social media. And if you like the content that you see, be sure to share us with your friends, your church, and your family. Center Up TV only exists with the support of our viewership, so if you can, please click on our donate page and make a donation to ensure we can further our mission of helping you make Jesus the center of everything. I'm Brandon Ford. Thanks for watching.